Return now to one of our top stories this morning. Judgment in the Nicholas Ninow rape trial expected to be heard in the North Gauteng High Court in Pretoria, Tshwane today. Ninow confessed to sexually assaulting a 7-year-old girl in a Dros restaurant last year. ENC's Aviwe Mtila joins me now live from the court in Pretoria. Aviwe, today is Judgment Day, and we think the proceedings will be kicking off within the next hour. What's the mood like this morning in court? Let's just begin there.
Well, Bradan, as you can see behind me, it's a sea of green, black and gold. That is, of course, the ANC regalia with the ANC Women's League coming out in full support ahead of the judgment that we're expecting here at Court GA of the North Gauteng High Court. Just speaking to some of the attorneys here, they're telling me the processions here today shouldn't be long. In fact, we should just hear the judgment, and then thereafter, I understand the attorneys here want pre-sentencing reports, which at this stage are not ready. So it should be halted for 2 or so days until it, takes session, the court itself. But you do understand last week has been a very heavy day for many inside this courtroom, seeing six witnesses come to the stand as that trial take place. Of course, heartbreaking testimonies that we heard here, even speaking to some of my media colleagues who say that after a while they get desensitized to such issues of rape. But this particular one of the rape of that then 7-year-old girl on the 22nd of September last year at that Dros restaurant certainly has struck a chord and left many with heavy hearts here.
And of course, one of those testimonies that touched many people's hearts was that of the little girl herself via CCTV. That must go down as one of the toughest moments in that court.
Certainly it was one of the toughest moments. We weren't inside as the media and the public to be part of that court testimony of the little girl. It was, in fact, in a TV monitor. But I can tell you, Bradan, as we walked in, seeing the reactions of the people that were inside, the NPA spokesperson, for example, shedding tears. You could tell how emotionally draining that testimony must have been, just devastating. But the one that we heard on that particular day was of the mothers, of course, reliving that dreaded day with that rape, starting from her panic, not knowing where her daughter was, and then going into that bathroom where her daughter was in that cubicle with Nicholas Ninow, the self-confessed rapist, now finding Nicholas Ninow naked in that bathroom toilet after pushing, in fact, the child crying out inside that cubicle, "Mommy, help me, mommy, help me." And then eventually, once they had opened that cubicle, Ninow running out with some items of the girl's clothing, which included a maroon tight and the girl's panties, running out to the male bathrooms, and then after following there, the sight of getting in that bathroom, finding Ninow wiping himself, his private parts with some of those girls' items, and then going ahead and flashing the panties of that girl. It was certainly one of the most harrowing testimonies that we heard here last week. Of course, we heard another one from a waitress who went on to resign, the childminder that was tasked with looking after the kiddies area of that Dros restaurant. Of course, going out at 4 o'clock just to have a quick lunch, and then this is when that happened. And then she went on to resign, Bradan, because she couldn't bear handling children anymore, and the guilt of what happened that day really struck hard to her.
Aviwe, what time do we expect Judge Mukina Musopa to get this morning's judgment proceedings underway?
Well, the attorneys are here. We are set to get started. I'm expecting in a few minutes, as we've been told, that at 10 a.m. Is when we're expecting that judgment, Bradan.
Thank you very much, Aviwe Mtila.